How cool would it be to have a beer championed by your favorite comic book hero? Well, guess what? I got a place for you. I'm Lee with Veterans Landing Group Kitsap, and if you have not checked out Chaos Bay Brewing, it is one of the coolest spots in Bremerton. Let's get into what makes this place so special. I have my friend, mentor, and real estate agent with me today, Rance Cochran with Fathom Realty. So Rance, tell me about what makes this place so special.
Well, Chaos Bay is home of some of the best food and drink you'll find in Bremerton and even Kitsap County as a whole. It's just a few minutes to the Seattle Ferry, making it one of the most desirable bedroom communities of Seattle.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
A lot of people love to live here and work across the water. It's also just a few minutes to the Puget Sound Naval Shipyard, the largest shipyard on the West Coast, and one of the biggest employers here in the area. About 15 minutes away in the other direction is the two other Navy bases, Naval Base Kitsap, Silverdale, Bangor base, and Keyport.
So we're really surrounded by a lot of Navy bases. So if anybody is stationed here, it's a relatively easy commute to work, right?
Absolutely.
Got it.
Perfectly centrally located for that. And for folks that don't work on base and beyond, the freeways nearby to head north or south towards Port Orchard, Gig Harbor, or maybe you work up north in Silverdale, Poulsbo, Kingston.
Now, how far are those locations between like Port Orchard, Silverdale, Poulsbo? Like, what's the reference there?
Port Orchard is about 15 to 20 minutes away.
Okay.
And Silverdale is about 10 to 15 minutes away.
Okay.
And the other ferry up north, Kingston, is about 30 minutes away.
Okay, that's not too far. Yeah, got it. Well, we're gonna go inside and give you a tour of the whole space and some of the beers that they offer.
Welcome inside Chaos Bay Brewing. As you enter, you'll notice a bunch of bar games, including pool, arcade, and even shuffleboard. One of the things that makes Chaos Bay special is all food and drink is made from scratch here on site. Speaking of drinks, all beer is made on site and championed by its own comic book hero. Each comic book hero is created and storyboarded by Chaos Bay owners. Another great thing about Chaos Bay is all the family-friendly, all ages events. From costume bingo to line dancing, even family-friendly, all ages karaoke. Speaking of beer, let's go grab one with one of the owners.
I'm here with Shal Davidson and Raina, who is also his wife, who also owns Chaos Bay Brewing. And today he's gonna walk us through how Chaos Bay became a thing and everything that they're gonna be doing to the whole lot in the space. And we're also gonna go right into the beers. So Shal, tell us how this all started.
Well, you know, it's pretty storied history. Originally, we created Chaos Bay in 2010, so it's been around for quite a while. It started out as Der Blocken.
Okay.
So Der Blocken Brewery was its original incarnation, and Der Blocken was created in conjunction with a couple of business partners that we had, and it was down in Manette, so just down the hill from here.
Yeah.
And we basically ran that for about 10 years.
Okay.
We bought out our business partners and kind of moved on from partnership, because it turns out that partnerships are only ships that never sail. So now it's just me and my wife that own this thing.
Gotcha.
And in 2020, we basically rebranded it, and it was reborn as Chaos Bay Brewing Company.
Gotcha. As far as how did you guys come up with the name Chaos Bay, and what was it supposed to signify when you guys came up with that name?
Yeah, so when we started this, it was 2020. It was right after the pandemic had kind of just kicked off, and the world was chaotic. And so like everything was just crazy, and we weren't really certain that this place would survive that kind of an event.
I see, yeah.
Yeah, and so basically based on that chaos and all that craziness that was occurring all at the same time, it was all compounding, we decided that we either had to, kind of dedicate ourselves to making this happen, or just kind of fold it up and give up.
What's really cool and unique about why you love Chaos Bay?
So people come in or work here, and they don't just do one thing. We expect that anybody that comes and works at Chaos Bay is going to do a lot of different things. So they're going to do some cooking, they're going to do some cleaning, they're going to do some building and making and creating. And so the creative aspects of what Chaos Bay has become is really what's most appealing to us.
So let's get right into the beers. So I know each of these beers have a comic book character that you guys created associated with each beer. So I guess which one's the first one?
Yeah, so here's the This is the Russian Overcoat, which is a Imperial Stout. It was originally developed under the Der Blocken moniker. So, you know, we started out as Der Blocken, and we have beers that we developed as Der Blocken, and now we're Chaos Bay, and we have beers that we've developed as Chaos Bay. So this started off under the Der Blocken moniker, and you know, we've always had this kind of we've been creating this comic book theme for quite some time. So the comic book character that goes with that is the Russian Overcoat gorilla, right? So it's like a gorilla that's you know, wearing a kind of an army jacket, and he's kind of a tough enforcer type character.
Gotcha.
In the overall comic book theme.
Is he like the tank?
Yeah. I would say that for sure. And we also have a angry Russian pizza, right? And this stuff was all done, you know, prior to the current turmoil, but they go well together.
That's good. That's really cool. So what's the next one we got?
The next one here is the Bohemian Cowboy.
Okay.
So the Bohemian Cowboy is a hazy IPA, you know, a lot of fruit in it, and it's pretty delicious. So that one really we created recently as part of the Chaos Bay brand. So when we swapped over, you know, originally what we had been doing was we had created all these beers, and then when my wife and I kind of took over, we needed to kind of make it our own and do something cooler. So we started creating these comic book theme behind it. And so we originally had all these beers, like a lineup of beers, and then we would make a comic book character to match the beers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But now that we're in Chaos Bay, we've already made all the Der Blocken beers into comic book characters. And so now we make comic book characters, and then we make a beer to match the comic book character. Kind of like, what would that character drink, right?
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So tell us about the Bohemian Cowboy.
So the Bohemian Cowboy is, you know, he's kind of this cowboy wearing a paisley suit, riding a unicorn. You know, it's a cool character.
Yeehaw.
Yeah. And the idea behind the character was really just, you know, we wanted something that well, what we gave the artist was, hey, let's do, you know, kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly with Clint Eastwood, but riding a unicorn and like, you know, with a lot of flair. And so he created this character.
Just a badass rhinestone cowboy.
Yeah.
I like it.
Exactly.
Very cool. Okay, gotcha. So what's our third one?
This is the Time Trap Amber Ale.
I had this last time I was here, and it was pretty darn good.
Yeah, it's delicious, actually. It's a really solid beer. You know, there's a lot of beers out there, not just IPAs, and everybody kind of gets sprung on these IPAs, but, you know, an IPA is, you know, not for everybody. There's a lot of people out there that want to drink something else, and so we're trying to create a lot of beers, you know, for everybody. And so this Amber Ale is a good, easy drinking beer. Goes good with a burger and fries. Yeah.
You guys have burgers here?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we do. So our menu is really pizzas, you know, burgers and sandwiches, and then salads. Gotcha.
So I gotta say, I normally do not like IPAs at all. It's just not my thing. Usually I just don't like the hoppiness, but I like this. This is really good. This is something I could definitely see myself drinking on just coming here and hanging out. So it's really interesting that this is the first IPA I've had in like 10 years that actually, it's nice.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah. So so tell me about the artists and the comic books guys that you come up with and how they're designed and all that stuff.
So all of the previous beers that were under the Der Blocken moniker, they had one artist.
Okay.
And so you can tell by looking at the comic book covers that we've created for each of the beers, whether it's an older kind of Der Blocken beer or a newer Chaos Bay beer.
Okay.
And the old Der Blocken beers kind of have this, you know, old school Marvel, you know, banner type comic book cover theme. Whereas the newer beers that are created under Chaos Bay, those are more Dark Horse or Image Comics with you know, kind of the more modern looking thematics, and they're distinctively different artists that we use.
I'm imagining, gosh, what's that comic one that's in like Sin City, kind of a Sin City style
yeah. So that'd be the later stuff, right? Or Spawn or any of these kind of
That's really cool. I like it. Very cool. Well, Shao, thank you so much for walking us through your beers, your story. I think it's really exciting to kind of see the fuse of comic books and beers and the comic book era coming back in, because I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, man, and we hope you guys all the best.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Thanks, brother. We hope you guys enjoyed this video and getting to know Chaos Bay Brewing and everything they're all about, the community space, the comic book stories associated with all the beers. Rance, what do we got going on here in the next couple weeks?
All right. Saturday, March 18th, 12 o'clock noon, be here. Chaos Bay, Bremerton. Join us for free food, free beer, and a free class to learn all about your VA home loan.
Well, that's pretty cool. Who's teaching that?
Someone very special and truly a passionate expert and advocate for veterans and active duty military.
I sure want to meet this guy. I hope he's a cool guy.
Likewise.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Otherwise, even if you don't make it to this class or even make it to that event, please check this place out. It's a local space. They're all about supporting local communities and local artists. and the beer is pretty awesome. So if you can't make it to the event, make it to the place and visit. Anyway, that's all we got for you guys. Hope to see you guys there.